Okay. So what did we get? We got this. That's a launcher. Basically high time. We had this before, but you have to do an input. That's square, pause, square. We also have triangle, pause, triangle. But this comes out very quick, so that's a good way to get enemies in the air. We got another stealth sequence here. But, it's a little difficult to actually stealth it. We can at least get this guy, however. Pretty easily. There's some guys facing us with shields. Be a little harder to get. I don't even know if I can get them, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm pretty sure his peripherals will detect us. They don't exactly have vision cones in the typical sense. Let's just get a little snack right there. Camera, kind of struggling, but it's alright. Get a perfect parry, then you break their shields immediately. It's very nice. No, there we go. Some of those are pretty tricky. Item box. Give us more of those. Anything else interesting here? Oh, grenade. We'll take that. And we'll just head across this bridge. Oh, look at that. The unmanned helicopters from MGS4. I told you we'd see them again. And we've got this very Sonic Adventure set up here. Like I said, they love the Sonic games in this. Is it just because Raiden's blue and runs fast? Is that it? I don't know. But it's pretty cool. Metal Gear did have some action set pieces, so I guess it's appropriate enough. So now, we gotta fight with the Hammerhead here. Of course, we can fight it using our off-brand Stinger missiles. They function pretty much how they function in MGS4. You can only carry 5 of them, however. They do stun the helicopter, which is very nice. We get back up here. Whoop. And we lock on. We can tap L1 to do a quick shot. Now that it's blue, it's vulnerable to us. Of course, we're just gonna run up the missiles and just absolutely cut it into a trillion pieces. Not quite how we fought those in MGS4. We kind of just shot them with the Stinger missile and that was it. A little flashier here. And we got an S rank too, not bad. Look up ahead, we see there's another civilian being held hostage. I'm going to do my best to rescue him, but I remember this one being a little tricky.
You gotta be pretty stupid to try and hide here. Looks to me like Russian spies.
Oh, and look at that. There's these little slider things. And I just kind of... Oh, did they get him? They did. You know, let's give it one retry. See if we can get this. I think you just have to be really quick. So let's try that. I think it has to do with about, like, how far they get in their sentence. No, still got him. That's weird. That's a shame. Wish I knew why that was. Seems like it varies per difficulty, and it seems like on that easier difficulties, he's actually harder to rescue. I don't know what's up with that, but this game has some screwy difficulties. We'll get into that later. Excuse me, just one. Nope. Hey, wanna get down here, buddy? They got a little reload animation. You don't get to see that very often. Just for good measure, you know. For revenge. Revengeance, even, since we couldn't save that man. There'll be more, though. There'll be more. Plenty of men to save. I can't remember what saving them unlocks. I think it's something.
So that's where they're holed up.
Might just be concept art or something like that.
Most likely it opens only if you have the right ID data stored in your left
You
hand.
with the left arms
Perhaps
again.
you could find a cyborg with access and borrow it.
You see any cyborgs around here, Doc?
Why not double back? Check the vehicle route again. You know, back at the entrance to the old city. Who knows? Maybe you can hitch a ride. Most likely, platoon commanders carry correct ID data for the gate. Use enhanced mode to figure out who to hit.
Alright, let's go back and let's take the upper path here. This area is kind of similar structurally to the Middle East in MGS4. A lot of the environments look pretty similar. I wonder how many of those assets we're seeing are reused from that. I know there's some stuff reused from the Fox Engine version of Metal Gear Solid Rising. Already seen tons of MGS4 whoops assets being reused. Let's just get that arm, thank you. I mention this though because there's a lot of verticality to this level, which is something that we saw quite a bit of in Act 1 of MGS4. Very similar building structures. Of course, again, Snake didn't really ninja run up there. He had to use ladders and such. Need those spines. We gotta grab them. Alright, we can use that ID chip to open this door. And I think now would be a good time to go back to customize since we just checkpointed. Now we should be able to buy, yep, Falling Lightning. Again, very useful. It's basically a homing dive kick. Can't afford anything else yet, but that's going to help us out a ton. Basically, press the control stick in any direction and heavy attack in the air. Yep, if you've played an action game, you've seen this attack before. It will go upwards as well, making flying enemies a lot easier to fight. And we got a special boy here. He's got a lot of armor. Didn't really help him out that much, though. Nailed a couple of those parries, and that's all it really takes. Oh, but we got dudes coming out of the waterworks here. The soldiers with the machine guns, they're a bit of a pain. Quite literally, they cause you pain. That's what this guy's trying to do, but he's not doing a great job of it. There's that dive kick. As you can see, it goes into the slowdown mode when it connects. Which means you can go into blade mode after it, but it's a little difficult to hit anyone. Because you bounce right off of them. So I brought up Chapter 1, Act 1, the Middle East, from Metal Gear Solid 4, aesthetically, because as it was pointed out when I played that, there's a fountain area that looks very similar to the one in this game. Obviously, MGS4s came first. There's even armored vehicles around, which, by the way, if I attack this enough, it goes blue, meaning you can slice it to a billion pieces, much like the armored cyborg soldiers. No reason to do that other than fun. Yes, obviously MGS4 came first and informed a lot of the aesthetic of this game, but I do think it's interesting that you get some areas like this that are almost one-to-one. The interior of this building, too, is very MGS4 Act 1. I like it. I like the similar aesthetic qualities. Helps it feel like it's all within the same world, you know? We're seeing another familiar aesthetic coming up soon. Oh, look at that. That is a truly massive painting. Oh, and look at this. "3D photo frame." So that's an interesting one. Display that uses stealth camouflage technology to refract light into a 3D image. It'll take more than a girly magazine to get the attention of emotion-suppressed cyborgs. This should do the trick. So yeah, this is basically the girly magazines from prior games, but with a twist. I'll try to use it on someone.
To get to the plant, first make your way to the hotel roof.
Alright. Let's go up there. Again, these broken stairs, it looks very similar to the opening of MGS4. Item box. Yep. They're definitely in control of that plant. Oh.
Those I have.
There he is. That's the bad guy.
That
It looks like there's some infighting between him and that voluptuous coat that I'm just now realizing has the Fury's camouflage. Now that's interesting. Probably coincidental, but still. Oh my gosh, it's a pretty lady. Choo!
Raiden, what's happening? Your heart rate spikes.
I love how he just pushes him away.
Yeah, I just dodged a bullet.
A smooching bullet.
All right, I'm heading for the refinery.
Love how he looks around there like, saw that right? That was cool. Yeah, still cool. All right, time to dumpster. Ugh. Unfortunately, we can't get in the dumpster. So sad. See where these enemies are. Okay. That guy looks like he's got a special arm or something. watch him for a minute. Where's he gonna go? Alright, well, maybe we can distract him with one of these. Yeah, he loves it. Do they both love it? Oh yeah, he loves it. And he does his little chicken crow. Chicken crow, chicken craw, chicken caw. He does that weird thing guards do in Metal Gear when they see a sexy lady. That lady on there is actually from Metal Gear Online 2. Believe it or not, another MGS4 reused asset. I think he might have had a special arm. I think I missed it. That's fine, though. Like I said, I've collected the Ghost Gun. Collected those on my my other files. So, is this guy going to turn the corner and see us? Nope, he's an idiot. Truly, we are playing Metal Gear. Absolutely. Absolutely true Metal Gear game. Let's see. Oh, we've got Gecko in the area. I'll try and be sneaky with him as well, but it might be a little difficult. You can get behind them. You can sometimes get a stealth kill. Huh? Gotta be really close. There it is. And we do that again, straight out of the cutscene at the end of Act 2. Literally everything he does in that scene, you can do in-game. Oh, but of course there was another Gecko that was going to come out. Oh, he's close to us. He's real close to us. So when they stomp, they sometimes get their foot caught in the ground, and you can go for one of these kill moves. Now, the Gecko are good targets for doing the dive kick into blade mode, as you saw there. Kind of a little awkwardly off camera, but still. Another B rank. All of these B ranks. It's a bit upsetting. We did leave some items here, and also there's this. Which, yep, we can cut this down. And it shatters to pieces in wonderful early 2010s Havoc physics. Kind of missed those physics, not gonna lie. Grenade. I'll use those eventually. They're pretty good. Another item somewhere back here. I don't know if I've ever gotten that. I don't even know how I would go about getting that. I guess, yeah, because you can't ninja run up there. Oh, I think I see. Gotta go from here, maybe? This is, no? That looks like it's begging to be ninja run across. I guess not. That's fine. I'm sure it's just like a nano repair paste or something. Grab one of those. Nice they just leave those lying around. Might have noticed that very subtle hitch there for a moment. That was because the game had to load in these buddies. Let me just do that. Let me just kind of get you right there. Get that spine. Get that arm.
classified Patriot information was in that man's holographic memory.
It's pretty fun to fight the heavy cyborgs. Something about it is just... I don't know. They're a cool enemy type. There's a lot of interesting enemy types in this game. So again, when their limbs are blue, that means they can be sliced and diced. You can destroy enemies' limbs, you can cut them off, and they have a bunch of goofy little reactions. Some of them are actually kind of comedic. Some of them a little creepy, a little gross. You cut off 3 limbs, though, eventually they'll just sort of leave. Oh.
During your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar.
They'll either stealth out, or some of them will self-destruct. Which technically means you can non-lethal some of the fights. You know, I'm not the... They left. Or maybe exploded. It's not my fault. I didn't commit the war crimes. Anyway, now we've got 2 hammerheads. And you can see that one was living up to its name there. It did a bit of a rush attack. Wonder if I can goad him into that. Kind of difficult, though. They have a really strange attack pattern. A lot of enemies are based on your distance from them, how they'll behave. But, you know. You figure out the distance, you figure out, wow, what are you doing, buddy? More missiles? Okay. Nice of them to sort of clear the area for us. But yeah, that dive kick, like I said, because it goes upwards as well. You can dive up into the air, I suppose. Really makes fighting these things a lot easier. There's another weapon we'll get much later on that is incredible against these things. Again, I will do a New Game Plus playthrough to some extent to show some of these things off. Because the game's really meant to be played as many times as possible. There's the hammerhead move. And I think I did a imperfect parry to it. Nope. He wants me to do this thing again. And it's pretty cool. Let's go for like... Won't even slice down the middle. Not quite. Way off center. That's fine. Another B rank. Ugh. Might as well be a D rank. My goodness. Anything that's not an S just doesn't count. Ooh. What does count, though, is this little item box in here. How do we get you? All the way back here. Here where those men were. Where they showed up. Alright. Boop. Come on, there we go. Boop it.
The cliff is just ahead at the end of the old city. Beyond that is the refinery's backyard.
So what? It's a sheer drop? The refinery's not connected to the city at all?
No, it was only built 2 years ago. There should be a narrow path around there that leads to the plant. It is protected by a fence, but probably you can cut your way through.
Probably.
Don't get cocky. Most likely it is Desperado running security down there.